Namaskar, good evening. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I am Smriti Rastogi with News Tonight. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines. For the first time in 3 years, Employee Provident Fund rate hiked to 8.65% in the current financial year, up from 8.55% last year. Decision to benefit 6 crore EPFO subscribers. New travel rules announced for paramilitary forces deployed in the Kashmir Valley. All personnel from Jawans to officer rank will now take commercial air flights to either join duty or go on leave. Government resolves to stop India's share of Ravi, Beas and Satluj river waters flowing into Pakistan. Water to be diverted to Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari announces the start of construction of the Shahpur Kandi Dam on Ravi River. Mahatma Gandhi's ideas offer the world answers to overcoming terrorism and climate change, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi at South Korea's Yonsei University, addresses India-South Korea Business Conference and the Indian community. And combat-ready Tejas will add more power to India's military might, says Army Chief Bipin Rawat after flying maiden sortie on the indigenous fighter jet. Aero show in Bengaluru to continue till February 24th. On his first day of visit to South Korea, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called upon the Korean industries to invest in India. He also called upon South and North Koreans to follow the principles of non-violence taught to the world by Mahatma Gandhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold summit-level meeting with South Korean President Moon Jae-in on Friday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday laid out the India growth story before Korean business leaders. Addressing a symposium of Indian-Korea business in Seoul, he said India offers immense opportunities in every field, even as he promised to deal Korean businesses on priority. As an example, the Prime Minister said just the field of infrastructure alone is a potential of $700 billion market.
We see South Korea is truly natural partner. India-Korea business relations have come a long way in past decade and especially closer in the last few years. India is among top 10 trade partners of Korea, and India is the 6th largest export destination for Korean goods. Our trade volume has reached $21.5 billion for the calendar year 2018.
Prime Minister also unveiled Mahatma Gandhi's statue in Seoul's Yonsei University. Korean President Moon Jae-in was also present on the occasion. Prime Minister Modi said the path of non-violence should be adopted for peace. He also cautioned South Koreans on spreading the menace of terrorism.
आज मानव जात पूरे विश्व में दो गंभीर संकटों से जूझ रही है। एक संकट है आतंकवाद का और दूसरा संकट है क्लाइमेट चेंज का। अगर महात्मा गांधी के जीवन को देखें तो इन दोनों समस्याओं का समाधान महात्मा गांधी के जीवन में, उनके आदर्शों में और उनके उपदेश में हम रास्ता खोज सकते हैं।
변화를 원한다면 내가 그 변화가 되어라. 변화로 가는 길은 없다. 변화가 길이다. 라는 간디의 가르침들이 더 깊이 와닿습니다. 오늘 숭상 제막을 통해 간디의 정신은 한국인의 가슴에도 영원히 남게 될 것입니다.
Prime Minister Modi also met Korean parliamentarians. He gifted a sapling to Mayor of Gimhae, where Princess from Ayodhya was married in ancient times. He later addressed the Indian community in Seoul, telling them that they were the unofficial ambassadors of Indian nations.
राजदूत एक ही होता है, लेकिन हर हिंदुस्तानी जहां भी हो वो राष्ट्रदूत होता है। एक प्रकार से आप भारत के एम्बेसडर हैं। 30 मिलियन ओवरसीज इंडियंस, इनकी कड़ी मेहनत, अनुशासन से दुनिया भर में देश की साख बढ़ी है। और मैं जिस देश में भी जाता हूं, मुझे ये सुनकर बहुत खुशी होती है कि भारतीयों की प्रतिष्ठा कानून मानने वाले नागरिकों के तौर पर बड़े गौरवपूर्ण रूप से उल्लेख होता है।
Koreans have appealed to India to relax regulations on opening industries and businesses. Prime Minister Modi and Korean President Moon Jae-in will have talks on Friday to decide issues of bilateral trade and common strategy into Indo-Pacific region.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a high pitch before Korean businessmen to invest in India. He said, if India and Korea go together, they can go long way. Interestingly, Korean business people are also very interested in India, and it is up to Indian bureaucracy, business people and people of India whether they can exploit this situation or not. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha television with camera person Suresh in Seoul.
And for the latest information on this, we'll go across to our correspondent, Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us from Seoul. Akhilesh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today addressed the India-South Korea Business Conference, and also he addressed the Indian community there. What were the important points which Prime Minister Narendra Modi stressed upon?
You know, Smriti, for last 4 years or so, India-Korea business relationship has increased a lot. But recently you see that, China and US are going into trade war, and North Korea and South Korea are trying to come to terms, and South Korea is also trying to opening its own way so that they can go together. So in this way, India has an opportunity, and South Koreans are seeing India as an alternative of China as far as business and trade and investments are concerned. So in this way, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit is very important. Even when some industries have come to India, they are big industry rather, but there is also opportunity for small and medium industries in India, and they may be one of the biggest collaborators with Indian small and medium industries, and that is why Prime Minister Narendra Modi today interacted with business people in Korea, and Koreans are showing further interest, and they are Trade Minister was also present in that meeting, and Trade Minister also urged that India and Korea have fantastic opportunity. Right. Korea has very very good research, understanding of our fundamental equipment research, instrumentation, manufacturing technology, everything is there with them. Now it is they are appealing that India should ease some regulations, some taxation system, though they are very happy with the GST, but they want that some holidays should be given to them, so right. that Korean business should initially establish themselves, and once they establish themselves, they can behave like an Indian company. They will give employment to Indian people themselves. So in that way, it's a major takeaway that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has again re-energized confidence among the Korean businessmen, right. that yes, India has got a major opportunity, and there is a red carpet instead of red tape now, and India has made a special arrangement for Korean businessmen. So this is the way that Prime Minister Narendra Modi tried to attract Korean business people again. And when Prime Minister Narendra Modi and South Korean President are sitting tomorrow for summit level talks, I think that if there are some hiccups in business people of Korea in coming to India about some regulations, about some whatever problems are there, I right. think they are going to discuss it threadbare. And also on the issue of, Korean Peninsula, they also want, Koreans also want support from India, whatever influence India, does have on North Koreans and also on Americans. So in that way, I think India is emerging both as a trade partner, business partner, and also as a, messenger of peace in the whole region. And that is why Prime Minister Narendra Modi today evoked Mahatma Gandhi, sermons and Mahatma Gandhi's preaching and his way of tackling major problems of the world. So I think this is the way Prime Minister Narendra Modi tried to reconnect and regularly connect with Koreans in
Akhilesh,
his own
I have
way.
one more question
and
for
he
you.
also addressed the Indian community to generate confidence among them, so that Indian community feel comfortable there. So that they can feel comfortable there, and also that they can come up with a
Talking about the areas of common interest for India and South Korea, what are these areas of common interest for both the countries?
That startup has come up as a very big way, in a very big way, that South Korea is going to invest almost more than $9 billion in startup business here. And startup, in those startups, it will be both Koreans and Indian, young people, and they will do jointly. Korean knowledge will be there, Korean investment will be there, and Indian also understanding, and India, that India is also understood to be very creative software, people, and they also have understanding of business in their own way. So I think that will become a major, investment and cooperation between the two countries.
Absolutely.
Other than that, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that there is a $700 billion opportunity in infrastructure sector in India. And I think that, South Koreans have very big interest in infrastructure sector, and tomorrow when Prime Minister is going to talk to President, then they may also, decide about some infrastructure, new infrastructure projects in the country. So I think these two are, very big takeaways from this visit that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and anyway.
Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for joining us and giving us all the details from the ground zero from South Korea, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a visit. Today was the first day of his visit. He called upon the Korean industries to invest in India, and also he addressed the Indian community there. Moving on to some more developments, paramilitary Jawans posted in the Kashmir Valley will not travel by road anymore. In a big decision to ensure their safety while travelling in the wake of Pulwama attack, the government has announced free air travel for the personnel of paramilitary forces serving in the valley. In an order, the Home Ministry said that it has approved the entitlement of the air travel on Delhi-Srinagar, Srinagar-Delhi, Jammu-Srinagar and Srinagar-Jammu sectors to all the personnel of the Central Armed Police Forces. This includes their journeys for joining duty, transfer, tour or going on leave. Home Ministry statement said the decision will benefit nearly 7.8 lakh paramilitary personnel of the ranks of constable, head constable and assistant sub-inspector. Till now, only officers in the rank of inspectors and above were given this air travel facility. This facility is in addition to the air courier services already available to the CRPF Jawans in the Jammu and Kashmir sector.
This decision of allowing free travel to paramilitary personnel who choose to travel between Delhi and Srinagar, or between Jammu and Srinagar, or between Srinagar and Jammu, regardless of the rank that they hold, beginning from the constable to the top, and regardless of whether they are on duty or they are leaving, they are going on a leave. This itself is going to be a huge relief, and at the same time, not only relief, also a show of respect and esteem to our security personnel.
And more developments which we have been tracking through the day. The government has decided to stop India's share of water that flows to Pakistan and divert water from eastern rivers to the people in Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. This was informed by Water Resources, Shipping, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation Minister Nitin Gadkari on Thursday. The decision comes after the Pulwama terror attack in which 40 CRPF personnel were martyred, for which India has blamed Pakistan. In a tweet, Gadkari said, and I quote, "Under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, our government has decided to stop our share of water which used to flow to Pakistan. We will divert water from eastern rivers and supply it to our people in Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab." Unquote. The eastern rivers are Ravi, Beas and Satluj. He further said that the construction of dam has started at Shahpur Kandi on Ravi River. Moreover, UJH project will store our share of water for use in Jammu and Kashmir, and the balance water will flow from second Ravi-Beas link to provide water to other basins states. According to the Indus Waters Treaty 1960, subject to certain conditions, India has the right to use water flowing in eastern rivers, namely the Beas, the Ravi and Satluj, while Pakistan controls the right to use waters in western rivers, which are the Indus, the Jhelum and the Chenab. The decision of diverting the water comes in the wake of Pulwama terror attack, in which 40 CRPF personnel were martyred, and terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed was behind the attack on the CRPF Jawans. And for more on this, we'll go across to Mr. Shilkant Sharma, former diplomat. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to Rajya Sabha Television. Sir, this is not the first time that Union Minister Gadkari has spoken about the construction of projects on rivers whose water is going unutilized into Pakistan. In January also, he raised the similar point, and he made the announcement regarding this, that we have decided that we will stop the flow of water to Pakistan and divert it to India, which is rightfully ours. Now, how do you see this statement and what does it mean?
Well, this has been expected, because at this juncture, the anger in the country against the massacre in Pulwama is very high, and people are now wanting to see actual measures. So in this respect, Pakistan knows that the Indian attitude towards the Indus Water Treaty has been very generous. We were giving them more water than the treaty had ordained.
Right.
And we are just doing now, we are just withdrawing our share of water, which is within the rights given to us by the treaty. And this water will be diverted to J&K and also to other basin states.
Right.
So that is also according to plan. I think this is something about which in the past, after every of these Pakistani violations and their attacks, this was raised by a lot of people, and this time finally government has decided to execute this this withdrawal of the Indian share of water from Pakistan. So this is just in the nature of things which are bound to come in the present juncture.
Right. Mr. Sharma, the government...
we need not have any other qualms about it. And the minister has already said... Yeah?
The government is planning to build a project and divert the water from these three rivers, Beas, Ravi and Satluj, into Yamuna River. Once this happens, Yamuna will have more water. How will it help the people in Jammu and Kashmir? What impact will this diversion of water have in the region?
Well, what you announced is a twofold way. One is to divert some water to Jammu and Kashmir, and the other is to build a dam which will, pass the water to Jamuna. So that will actually have a beneficial effect on this whole region, and we are within our powers, within our rights to do so.
Right.
Definitely, the water-starved. Once the summer comes, we have been facing problems in this area. The states, the basin states have been going through water scarcity. So it is time that we utilize the water.
Right. And talking about the Indus Water Treaty that was signed way back in 1960.
Hello?
What does it say about the water sharing agreement between India and Pakistan?
The treaty allows that the eastern rivers, their water can be used by India, and the western rivers can be are to be used by Pakistan. So these eastern rivers are Ravi, Vyas, and Satluj, and the western rivers are Jhelum, Chenab, and Indus. So we are trying to use eastern rivers' water for our own people. It is within the treaty. We have not done it so far was an act of generosity in the hope that Pakistanis will see that India wants to elicit appropriate reaction from Pakistan. But the reaction from Pakistan is in terms of terrorist attacks and blatant and shameless denials. So naturally, it's a waste of generosity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma, for joining us and helping us understand this very important development in detail. The government has decided to stop India's share of water that flows to Pakistan and divert it from the eastern rivers to the people of Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. This is in the wake of the Pulwama attack, in which 40 CRPF jawans were martyred. Pakistan-based terror outfit Jaish-e-Mohammed had carried out the attack in Pulwama. Moving on to some more developments, the Employees Provident Fund Organization has hiked interest rates on Provident Fund by 0.1%. The EPFO has raised interest rate to 8.65% for 2018-19. The interest rate for 2017-18 was 8.55%. The EPFO had earlier reduced the interest rate in 2016-17 to 8.65% from 8.8% in 2015-16. The move would benefit over 6 crore employees. The decision was taken in the meeting of EPFO's Central Board of Trustees. It will also now be sent to the Ministry of Finance for approval. And some more news. Hearing in the Sunanda Pushkar death case against her husband and Congress leader Shashi Tharoor has been adjourned to March 7th. Shashi Tharoor has moved an application to travel to Bahrain and Qatar. The Delhi police has been asked by the Delhi court to file its reply on Tharoor's plea by Friday. On February 4th, the case was sent to the Sessions Court for further proceedings, since the offence under the Section 306 of the IPC that deals with the abetment of the suicide was triable by the Sessions Judge. Shashi Tharoor has been charged under Sections 498A and 306 of the IPC, but has not been arrested in the case. Tharoor's wife Sunanda Pushkar was found dead in a suite of a luxury hotel in Delhi on the night of January 17, 2014. And President Ram Nath Kovind promulgated 4 ordinances on Thursday. These include the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Second Ordinance, the Indian Medical Council Amendment Second Ordinance, and Companies Amendment Second Ordinance, and the Banning of Unregulated Deposit Schemes Ordinance 2019. The ordinance banning triple talaq has been promulgated to give continued effect to the provisions brought in by the earlier ordinance, as the bill could not be passed in the budget session. The banning of unregulated deposit schemes ordinance has been promulgated to have central legislation to tackle the menace of illicit deposits taking activities in the country. And some more news on the day 2 of the Aero India 2019. India's indigenous light combat aircraft Tejas made its debut at the air show. Army Chief General Bipin Rawat took a flight to India's newest fighter jet just a day after it got its final operational clearance on Wednesday. Here is a look at the Aero India 2019.
Army Chief General Bipin Rawat took a spin in indigenous light combat aircraft Tejas at the Aero India show in Bengaluru. After a 40-minute sortie above the Yelahanka Air Force Station, General Rawat described Tejas as a wonderful aircraft that would add to India's air power.
जिस तरह से मैंने इस जहाज को एक्सपीरियंस किया, मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहूँगा कि टारगेटिंग जो इसकी है बहुत अच्छी है। तो जिस तरह से भी हम हवाई शक्ति अगर एयरफोर्स की बढ़ाते हैं तो थल सेना की भी शक्ति बढ़ती है, क्योंकि हम सब एकजुट होकर काम करते हैं। और मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि इस तरह के जहाज अगर उनकी इन्वेंट्री में शामिल होते रहे तो सशस्त्र सेनाओं की जो शक्ति है वो बढ़ती रहेगी।
The flight comes a day after the fighter jet was certified combat ready. Developed by Aeronautical Development Agency, a nodal agency of DRDO and HAL, LCA Tejas received the final operational clearance at the air show on Wednesday. Meanwhile, people are turning up in large numbers to watch India's best fighters perform in the skies.
और द इंडस्ट्री इतना डेवलप की है क्योंकि हमारे इंडिजिनस जो प्रोग्राम्स थे उनको सपोर्ट करने के लिए जो स्मॉल माइक्रो इंडस्ट्रीज अभी वो काफ़ी डेवलप कर गई हैं। और आज अगर हम एक नया एयरक्राफ्ट बनाना चाहते हैं तो हमारे पास शायद सारी कैपेबिलिटीज़ हैं जो हम इंडिया में बना सकते हैं।
इस बार तो बहुत सारी नई कंपनियां भी आई हैं, बहुत सारे इंडियन कंपनीज आई हैं। स्पेशली इंडियन कंपनीज आने से बहुत फ़र्क पड़ा है। एरो शो में इस बार डिफेंस का एक्सपोजर बहुत ज़्यादा है मेरे हिसाब से।
काफ़ी कुछ सीखने को मिलता है, डिफरेंट पार्ट्स अबाउट देम, सबके बारे में वो सब बहुत अच्छा लगता है जान के।
Nearly 400 national and 200 foreign companies are taking part in the 12th edition of Aero India show.
Display of fighter aircrafts and maneuvering of attack helicopters are the major attraction in this Aero show of Bangalore. And Army Chief today also took a ride on this Tejas aircraft. And with this, many collaborations and MOUs are being signed between Indian and foreign defense companies, which are further making strong to Indian defense sector. From Aero Show in Bangalore with cameraman Prashanta Karmakar, this is Panchanan Mishra for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu inaugurated a string of development projects on Thursday. During his ongoing visit to Nellore, he initiated a series of railway projects and laid the foundation stone for the redevelopment of the Nellore railway station. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal also was present at the launch.
Upgrading Nellore station, upgrading Tirupati station in this area. These are the two railway stations that are going to be remodeled immediately on a priority basis by the NBCC. Later, other stations like Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam, others also will be taken up. In the coming years, Nellore and other stations are planned to be transformed into iconic structures with modern state-of-the-art facilities. They will have modern food courts, ample parking and implement green building norms.
The Railways also is firmly committed to the cause of Andhra Pradesh's development, growth and prosperity. In fact, the number of projects that we are launching today, as I said, a total of 1,830 crores will be spent, ushering in a new era of speed, safety and service for the people of Andhra Pradesh, for the citizens of Nellore.
The Vice President also inaugurated Nellore All India Radio FM station in Andhra Pradesh, addressing the people of Nellore in Telugu and in English. After the launch, Naidu said, apart from broadcasting entertainment programs in Telugu, the FM station would provide important information to farmers and other sections.
The program will showcase the local talent, boost the morale of the youth, keep them abreast with the current affairs, cultural grandeur, sports talent, music and heritage of the area. Radio broadcasting in the world has made a comeback in the era of continuous bombardment of visual content through myriad channels. The human eye is enduring a fatigue. Radio has increasingly proved itself to be a favored companion. Radio gives clean, soft and assuring entertainment along with hard news and honest analysis of events.
Besides, the Vice President also inaugurated a medical camp at Sardar Patel Nagar in Nellore. He urged people to maintain healthy lifestyles to avoid the effects of modern health problems. He also pitched for concerted efforts from policymakers to make healthcare affordable, especially for those living in rural areas. And that's all we have for you in this edition of News Tonight. For more news and updates, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television. Namaskar.